Poltergeist, the horrors of a neighborhood built on top of an old cemetery.
You son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Lie! Lie!
But we have a home horror story of a very different kind, here in the town of Fulshire.
Tripoint Homes broke the mold for what a premium home builder could be.
And it will make you think twice about ever buying a home from these people, Tri Pointe. They used to be called Trendmaker Homes.
Start with a beautiful home, end with a beautiful relationship.
But those commercials surely won't include Cheryl Waddell.
It wasn't safe. It wasn't safe to be there, and I hated that house.
For 2 years, this $500,000 home in Fulshire Run on Hayfield Street has been vacant. Evacuated by owners Ron and Cheryl Waddell.
And I love the area. I love the neighbors are wonderful, but I would never go back there.
The Waddells moved into Fulshire Run in June of 2017. A new school for their son, Matthew, then 14. But months later, he got sick.
He got bronchitis, and it was 4 months before we got rid of it, which is very unusual for him.
Then came the nosebleeds. Doctors thought the house should be tested for mold. And the results are the horror story for the Waddells. The mold report saying, quote, the moisture sources that caused mold growth were high humidity and condensation associated with building science defects. The house was determined to be uninhabitable. They told you you can't live here anymore.
That's correct. That's
I mean, your reaction must have been,
What the hell?
what the hell?
Yeah, so what do you do?
The pictures expose the shoddy work that put the Waddells in so much danger. Thermal cameras show air leaking into the walls and floors, behind the fireplace, bedrooms, and dangerous humidity levels. No wonder there was mold. Look at the temperature in the exhaust fans.
It just broke my heart, you know. I wanted a safe place for him, and he didn't have it.
Tripoint Homes now faces a growing number of lawsuits here too. Cross Creek Ranch, and the stories are eerily familiar. Multiple construction defects causing mold, and HVAC problems. Humidity levels so high in one case that mold allegedly gave a dad asthma. The entire family had to move to the first floor. Their 9-year-old son cried on his birthday when he couldn't sleep in his own bed anymore. Last month, Fort Bend County Judge Tamika Carter was told that shoddy work is actually Tri Pointe's Trendmaker's business plan. Here's what the lawyer for some of the homeowners fighting back had to say in court. Quoting, they spend literally 30 to 40 days building a house, big houses. It's chock full of construction defects. Then they know people like my clients can't just sue them. Tri Pointe is selling new homes across the Houston area in Clear Lake, Humble, Tomball, Katy, Conroe, Magnolia. You can go on Yelp to read the reviews. Quoting, our Trendmaker home experience includes 93 plus documented home defects. The workmanship is downright shoddy. And this from another new homeowner. Quoting, they have put us through hell and back.
Now, our signature no surprises home building model is in Austin.
In Austin, another spot for Tri Pointe Homes. Check out this review. Sound familiar? Quoting, the wall shows mold damage and the plaster has created huge long water stains. From spring, we found more warnings. Quoting, our house has been a nightmare from the beginning. So we had to go to see if the sales pitch at Tri Pointe was, well, honest. In the very place where so many folks have complained, Cross Creek and Fulshire Run. And of course we did it, Dolce Fino undercover style.
You know, people love it here. We sell so many homes here.
Tripoint salesman Salman Irfan said he hadn't heard about any problems at all with the AC units.
No, I never heard anything.
No problem.
No problem.
But you can see the mold reports for yourselves. So we had to ask him directly about mold.
My biggest worry is mold. I have a friend who just got out into this huge thing with a developer because of mold in the house.
Well, mold has happened in the old homes. The new home, the mold, if they have not treated, we never had any issue here.
Really? Tell that to Ron Waddell. If somebody offered to sell you a Tri Pointe home,
You couldn't give me their house. You absolutely could not even give me one of the homes right now.
They have to live somewhere else. Their child has had to be uprooted and go to a new high school. I find the whole thing outrageous.
but the Waddells know their fight against a home builder in this state, any home builder for that matter, is an uphill battle. Most of us don't read the fine print in these new house deals, and with Tri Pointe you should, because buried in all the documents, there's a catch. Quoting, any claim, controversy, or dispute between you and us will be resolved solely by binding arbitration and not through litigation. And not just any arbitrator. Quoting, the arbitration shall be conducted by DeMars and Associates. That's a company headquartered in Hazlet, Texas, north of Fort Worth. 12 years ago, the consumer advocacy group Public Citizen called out DeMars for providing home court advantage for builders, a way to avoid accountability.
The system is absolutely rigged.
In court filings, the Waddells now want their fight to go to a truly neutral party. Quoting, DeMars arbitrators are not required to have any legal training or expertise. Instead, DeMars arbitrators appear to be closely aligned with the building industry.
We've gotten more phone calls than I can disclose from people who've gone through the DeMars process and have had horrible things to say about it.
The president of DeMars denies they're aligned with home builders, doesn't know why they're accused so often. We are a neutral party, he says. After our investigation began, lawyers for Tri Pointe agreed to a different independent arbitrator for this lawsuit only. But there should be truly independent arbitrators in all of these botched home cases, for all home builders. That would be real justice and a message to home builders to fix it. But these cases should never get to arbitration in the first place. Companies like Tri Pointe must face responsibility or face the consequences.
What we find so disturbing about all of this is how much time, money, and effort is being put in by the builder not to fix this house.
You can't sell it, you can't live in it, you can't afford to fix it.
But the Waddells still have to pay the mortgage on that house that's too dangerous to live in. And the ultimate insult? Fort Bend has now removed their homestead exemption, so their tax bill will go up too. Luckily, that was fixed, but when the Waddells had to move out, their homeowners insurance policy was canceled too, and now the only insurance they can get costs 500% more. The mayor of Fulshear told us the city didn't know about any of this.
And my advice to people that still have their houses and don't have problems with them, sell them while you can.
This house is clean.
Sadly, there's no magic cure for all these complaints about Tri Pointe Homes. Would you step up and buy the Waddells' house, knowing what's happened here? You hate that house.
I do.
Right?
Yes.
You would never go back.
No, never.